Everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing another video. I'm kind of sick, so I didn't work most of the day today. Not feeling the best. I don't think it's you know what yet, as far as I know. I don't know how long the symptoms take, but hopefully it's not. Um, so far, I'm just kind of spaced out and tired and exhausted and kind of congested and kind of sore throat and stuff like that. I have no trouble breathing. I don't have a fever or anything like that. So I don't think it's the big thing, but the big C. To paraphrase Def Leppard. I've got the big C, Yeah. Anyways, I don't think I do. So that's a more of a innuendo, of course, being as it is. So I wanted to do this video about Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan is now officially in the red pilled about the current crisis club, in my opinion, from her recent tweets defending Zuba, who's this musician, kind of a conservative musician. Now, there were also some tweets kind of attacking the ACLU about choice, if you know what I mean, versus mandates. It doesn't surprise me. I know this is horseshoe theory at work with me as well, because I'm ostensibly on the left, and I've kind of come to this thing with this current crisis that people probably would accuse me of being this horseshoe theory of politics, where the far left and the far right get together and have similar ideas and opinions, about certain issues or certain crises. And that first happened, of course, 20 years ago with the big event that happened back then. More on the libertarian side than, the neocon, of course, side, because the Republicans had control. So now it's happened. I see it happening again, and I welcome it, because I think we need to question some of this stuff. And I'm not saying that, anybody's right or wrong. Rose McGowan might be in the wrong side of history, blah, 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 about all this stuff. Or I might be, whatever. Or, someone else might be. Now, there have been recent revelations about a certain person that's in the government right now, pushing certain policies and ideas about this whole thing too, which is pretty fascinating. It comes around at this moment. We keep finding out. I'll just say The Intercept did some work on coded words, because it's YouTube, Wuhan Tang Clan stuff with a certain Italian man that's in the epidemiological position in Biden's Cervenka bug crisis management team, which was inherited from Trump. This one 80-year-old man that's part of that was he gained some function, I'll just say that, if you look it up. Now, this came on the heels of me getting into a really bad argument with one of my best friends from years ago, where he deleted me on Facebook because I got into this argument about the whole crisis with him on Facebook and all this drama. And then this comes out. I'm like, I might be wrong about some of the ways that we should be doing some of this stuff, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about some of this. Maybe I've been wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I know I was wrong with predictions, but I have a fucking right to have skepticism about what happened 2.5 years ago, or whenever this shit came about, right? I don't think now it's turning into a video about this, but I'm just saying that that's overall how I feel. So circling back, as Jen Psaki would say, to Rose McGowan. Now, Rose McGowan is I've liked her for over 2 years, because she started calling out a lot of the Democrats and the Republicans, and anybody that's a hypocrite. And I feel like I'm the same way about a lot of things with regards to everything, especially this crisis. So once I saw her doing that, I would just, I just started liking her more and more as someone that just is a, rabble rouser, or whatever you want to. I mean, I don't really see her as that. At first I thought she was just crazy. I'm just being honest. But as I got to know more of what she was about, I really started to respect her. And this is kind of a new thing. So this is kind of a big. It's kind of like I see it as almost like Scientology falling. Like every day there's someone else that comes out about Scientology that's famous. Like, oh, maybe Travolta will come out and say he's left Scientology. Laura Prepone was the last one. It's or Leah Remini was the biggest profile one. Jason Begay, all these people. So it's like people that are kind of coming to the side against Scientology. I see it as with the current crisis, people are getting more red pilled about some of the mandates and some of the ideas that they have in place to do all this stuff. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't support necessarily, really getting these things done as far as certain shots that have been done for this whole thing. That doesn't mean I don't support that. Like I said before, I think I was the Vanguard that came up with this. They said, people, if they actually put a $2,000 check in front of it, more people would have done it. But I certainly don't support mandates that, deny you access to the fucking grocery store or even going to a bar and stuff. It's like, and Rose McGowan rightfully said, she was talking about my body, my choice. If you can get this thing, it's your responsibility. No one else's. Why are you putting the responsibility of people that haven't got it for you to be? It doesn't make sense if it's still transmissible without the thing, without the attending the Action Jackson Nation movie, if you know what I mean. Because I get this all from Matt McKinley, this guy from YouTube who I watch. I don't buy a lot of his stuff, but I still think it's entertaining and interesting. He talks about we're living in a simulation, all this stuff, and he talks about Mandela effect and all this kind of stuff. I bought his book, Quantum of Conscience. I haven't read it yet. I probably will pretty soon. So someone sent you a new message. Oh, great. Okay. Anyways, so that's the whole thing with this whole thing. It's like we've gotten really toxic. We've become really a toxic society with this whole crisis that's happening, and we need to come together and try to talk this out. Nobody wants to listen to each other. I mean, my friend, did I listen to what he wanted? He just said snarky stuff. He just attacked Joe Rogan, attacked me, and my beliefs. Like I wanted people to die. Just like the typical. What I'm trying to think of the word for that. Coronitarian fascist kind of stuff that's going on. I just call it that. Maybe that hyperbole is bad too, because it's still divisive to call people that. Just say, oh, you have a different opinion, I disagree, this is why, this X and X happened. And but having Rose McGowan on our side, so to speak, is a big fucking deal. I'll just have to say that it's like the biggest person you can have. I know she pisses off a lot of people, but you have Glenn Greenwald, Rose McGowan, who else? A bunch of people that are coming out and just kind of saying, Jimmy Dore, obviously, just a lot of people that are coming out, these personalities that are coming out and saying, we have to take a look at this. We have to watch what's happening with this. We don't want to slide into that slippery slope of trying to say the word technocratic fascism shit. Anyways, I'm trying really hard because I did get flagged a couple months ago for something that I was talking about with remote work and stuff, and how I thought it was bad. I haven't posted my BitChute. It was going to be a BitChute exclusive because it got banned from this platform. But I just think I just get scared of these things happening. It doesn't mean that I don't think something works, because I do think it. I mean, if as far as the science goes, supposedly it works. And if it doesn't work, why are they pushing all this other stuff then? Or if it does work, or why are they not just coming out and saying it doesn't work if it doesn't, does? I'm looking all over the place. I'm, kind of spacey today from being kind of sick. So I don't know what it is. I always get sick in the fall anyways, so I don't think it's the, what, but it's like, I think we've got to look at this thing really with humility and empathy, and instead of saying, oh, you're a wannabe murderer, or you're a, or you're a, the other side, you're a fascist. And I've been bad about that too. Right now it's a defense, because I think maybe for now I will assume that position, at least temporarily. I think down the road though, I do want to get more moderate about it in my presentation about it. It's really hard though. There's only a couple of people that are really moderates I see out there right now, and that's like, and on YouTube especially, Louis Rossman and Zubin Damani are both very moderate people about this whole thing. in a good way. You can call them moderate right. I don't think that's true though. And someone like speaking of my previous video, Kalinsky is definitely on the other side. But he's not as bad as some people, obviously, that are wanting to do way worse things with this, like, oh, Australia was a good idea, Victoria. Just it's kind of just become this really toxic narrative that goes back and forth. Now, what do I think the results of this are supposed to be? I might do some BitChute stuff about that, but I just do not like the direction it's going, and I will continue to fight with these types of videos and stuff, and I don't care what people think about it anymore. I've already gone beyond my initial stuff, and if I just don't. I think we need to question this. We need to at least have an open conversation, open dialogue about all that's happening. So you have these Twitter like no, I wouldn't call them oh shit, I feel like shit. Wouldn't necessarily call these people like contrarians, but they're definitely like they have their own opinion, and they're just trying to call people out for stupid shit. And Rose McGowan is one of those people that is calling this stuff out, the hypocrisy, the contradictions, and I think people like that need to be respected for standing up in this time where you're subjugated and outcast by society by saying that you have problems with the official narrative even. And at this point, I believe that it's good to push the to help people that are vulnerable, but I think that there should be other means too. And obviously I think we need to look at what happened with this whole thing and try to see what the hell this was all about. That's my honest opinion. And it doesn't mean you can't mitigate things. I've been out a lot, so who knows, maybe it is what's going on with me right now. I don't think so. It's not like I can't stand up or something. If it passes in 2 days or whatever, it's probably just allergies and whatever. But it's just weird, and I'm exhausted too. I didn't get much sleep, so that's probably a big part of it. But yeah, Rose McGowan's kind of on our side now, on the side of the skeptics, as far as some of her latest tweets. Max Blumenthal is another person. He goes a little bit too far, maybe into conspiracy land for probably some people, but there's more people kind of falling into that line because things are getting more extreme. So it's like, where do you fall? Where do your beliefs go? Okay, so if you're a critical thinking person and you see some of the stuff that's happening, you see some of these ideas, you could go one way or the other. But if you're naturally anti-authoritarian, contrarian, whatever you want to call it, if you have this belief about things, about power structures, about the way that things are in our society, and you're against authoritarianism, central authority, hierarchies in general. Like, I've realized I'm probably an anarchist at this point. That's probably my natural state of being, is anarchism. Not like Antifa, soy anarchism, what I would call it. And not necessarily Michael Malice, like closer to libertarian anarchism. I'm an anarcho-centrist, probably. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in this rising tide of authoritarianism when it comes to tech and some of these mandates, tech censorship and mandates. And you know what? Certain Spike Lee protein mandates. That's what I mean. You know what I mean. Some of those things I don't believe in. I don't know what the best answer is, and I do feel bad that people have suffered from this. But at the same time, from the beginning, I thought there was something off. I still think that. It's something's off about this whole thing. It just got to me from the beginning when they were talking about the new normal, and You know, people never shake hands again. I mean, watch my video from March 28th, and I'm repeating myself, but please just realize that I am not trying to say this does not exist and this is some kind of fake thing, or even the exaggerated parts of it. I mean, I think there are parts of it exaggerated, but it doesn't mean I think it's exaggerated as far as a really bad outcomes or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we gotta watch the fuck out, because this is just, it reminds me of 9/11, and I was, from the beginning, I was skeptical of all the stuff we were being told back then. We were lied to. I mean, look at Rumsfeld. There was this Time magazine article. Like I said, it was like this. I'm repeating myself. I don't give a fuck, you know. But I mean, a lot of it was bullshit in the beginning. And then, you know, you have the whole thing about the science thing. So let's go to the science thing. This is becoming kind of an epic video now, but I'm gonna probably cut it off at 20 minutes. The science thing. You look at the pancake thing, the International House of Pancakes with the 7-Eleven. You go to 7-Eleven. I'm just going to use codes. You probably know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, 7-Eleven is a part-time job, but then you go to IHOP, right? And you have the pancake. It doesn't make, those pancakes don't really make sense. Yet Popular Science did a whole feature on the pancakes, like, this is the science. This is the science. Believe the science. See, now I realize how much these two events are fucking connected over this time period. Like the pancake, the International House of Pancakes thing, with regards to the just turning to, you know, the pancakes turning to dust with no maple syrup helping them, right? Just the pancakes turn into complete like crumbs, right? Because the fork hit him. The fork planes hit him, right? The forks hit the pancakes. They turned into crumbs. Now I want some fucking pancakes or a waffle. Probably not going to go out many places until I feel better. But it hit the pancakes, or it hit the towers of pancakes. They pancaked into a pancake of crumbs or whatever, right? But Popular Science did this article about that years ago. Like, this is the science about why they crumbled like they did, and like, believe the science. That's pseudoscience. See, we've been going through this for years. Like, what is pseudoscience? What's not? You know, and there's a lot of evidence against what they said. I'm sorry. Just look at the thing, and I'm not saying it's true. I believe that what happened on that day, what happened at 7-Eleven as a part-time job application happened, right? I believe it happened, the way that they described it. That said, there's books like Disconnecting the Dots. There's all sorts of books about these different people having these connections and intelligence operations and stuff like that. So, there's the whole, that's ironic, when I talked about International House of Pancakes, there's this IHOP, let it happen on purpose, or it happened on purpose. So IHOP versus IHOP. Well, sometimes there's a thinner line than people realize. So I believe that this whole trust the science thing could be just as flawed as that whole thing. And that's why I'm so radical about it. It doesn't mean I believe any of the science is flawed in this current situation. I don't necessarily believe that. But we got to call this stuff into question. With versus from. What can I say? 28 Days Later. The movie 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is a great movie. But the with versus from 28 Days Later, you know, that bonus feature with versus from of 28 Days Later doesn't make a lot of sense to me still. It doesn't. If you're so if you have a diabetes and then you're free of the Spike Lee 28 days later and then you die, is that counted? No, in England apparently it was, according to the BBC, certain places in America. What did Burke say last year? You know, we're counting these things, right? And was it April 18th? So I've always questioned these things, and I'm sorry, you know, if that's too much, I'm thinking too much. Just follow the guidelines, and we'll get over this soon. Yeah, like like Mr. Italian Man said, oh, we beat over the spring of 2021. Yeah. Then it's the summer. And then Freudian slip, maybe, he said, oh, the fall of 2022. Oh, I mean the spring. Like, who the fuck knows, right? We don't know. I'm doing 1,000. I don't care if I do 1,000 videos about it. I don't give a shit anymore. I'll do my thing. As long as my other parts of my life are okay, this is okay. Okay. When my other life suffers, doing this type of stuff really affects me badly. So, I don't know. Rose McGowan, red-pilled as fuck about the CV at this point. I mean, I was surprised and shocked, about it. I was pretty happy because it's another high-profile person that's questioning it. What's his name? Busta Rhymes, talking about mandates and stuff. And he had musical partners that died of this thing. So, what do we say about that? Does he have no empathy for his friend that died, or is he worried about this just being dragged on into a dystopian future? I think the latter. I think he probably does care. He's not just some sociopathic, rapper or whatever. I don't. There's no black and these people are too black and white about this. They think, oh, we question things. That doesn't mean like. I mean, one of the guys at the Atlas Gym in New Jersey is like one of his. I don't know if it was one of his parents, but someone like I think a grandmother died of the whole thing of the CV, and he was trying to sue for the lockdown stuff, having his gym locked down. So it's not black and white as people say, like, oh, well, you must not have had any friends or family that died from this, so that's why you feel that way. You're just a sociopathic Russian bot, Well, oh well. I wish I knew some Russian words. Anyways, I'm going to try to learn some, I think I'm getting to the end of this video because I'm going to go, get some food and lay down and feel better. Because I will, because I always feel better. This is not anything new, I don't think. I don't feel any kind of weird symptoms. I can smell and taste, so I don't think it's the, Travanka. But who knows, of course, at this point. Who knows what they're lying about with the breakout through. I think that they're making, they lied about that, in my opinion. Breakout and Arkanoid are great games, but when they're lying about Breakout or breaking through, they're lying. I think it's way more than they said, is what I'm trying to say. But I know like 5 fucking people that had played the Breakout game. I might be playing it right now because I had the Big Johnson's poker in your arm thing. Oh, hey, I like that. Actually, that's a cool code. Big Johnson. You have to be like a Generation X or whatever to know what I'm talking about with Big Johnson shirts. They were like these really like X-rated sort of like innuendos, like Big Johnson's poker hall, poker in the rear, liquor in the front, stuff. So Big Johnson's like, what did I say? Fuck, I can't even remember now. Anyways, that's about all. Peace out.